here with Phil Wainewright, who is a well-known ZDNet blogger. He's an analyst, and he's also vice president of Eurocloud London. Is that correct?
Well, Eurocloud Europe, and chair of Eurocloud in the UK.
Great. So speaking of Eurocloud, I know you have Eurocloud Congress coming up next month in Luxembourg. Tell me a little bit about that, and what are the key takeaways you're hoping that come from that?
Well, what we do with Congress is we bring people together who are members of Eurocloud from right across Europe, from as far afield as Portugal, Ukraine, Finland, all directions, and we do three things. First of all, we put them together with policymakers from, for example, the European Commission. So we're going to have the latest update from Viviane Reding, who's the Data Commissioner, about the moves to harmonise data protection across Europe, which is a big issue at the moment for cloud providers. Going to find out about some of the work on encouraging standards on cloud procurement by the public sector. We're also going to bring together quite a few innovative startups who are doing projects in bringing cloud onto mobile, so that's going to be very interesting. And we also have the Eurocloud Awards, where we give awards to the champions from individual countries, and then we have the European Awards, where we pick the champions of champions, as if you like. So that's great, because it means we're bringing together the cream of Europe from a cloud point of view into Luxembourg, and you can imagine the networking that goes on.
Absolutely. So that's Europe. Now, in the rest of your research and your analysis, what do you see are some of the other markets out there that are really picking up speed when it comes to technology?
Well, when people talk about cloud, I think there are two camps that talk about cloud. One camp is the technologists, who are all thinking, well, how do I kind of take my IT and put it on the cloud? And then there's kind of the ordinary man in the street, which has a much better overview of what's going on. They see that everyone is connected now, business is connected, and cloud is not just where you put your computing, but it's also things like mobile and social, and all the kind of stuff that we hear being talked about in the keynotes at an event like DreamForce. And I think that there's almost like two universes. One universe is the people who are still steeped in the old school way of doing things, which I think is almost the sort of industrial era approach to enterprise and to computing. And then a whole separate class of people who and businesses who are really want to get ahead, be connected, be real time, and seize the opportunities that are emerging, and that actually will mean that some of those old industries will just die because they don't adapt fast enough. So that's what excites me, when people are transforming the way they do business, taking advantage of this amazing technology that exists in the world today.
Absolutely. There's so much talk out there about the role of the CIO, the IT department, how that's all changing because of cloud and the new technologies. Mark Benioff said something interesting yesterday. He said by 2017, most of the IT spend is going to come out of the CMO budget. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think that's quite what he said, but I mean, I think that what that tells you is that IT is not just something that happens in particular pockets of an enterprise. IT is something that underpins everything the enterprise does. And in fact, if your enterprise is not automated in all aspects of its operations, then your customers and your partners and your employees start to think, well, what's going on here? This company does not have its act together. And so I think that means the IT department, that changes. You more become a CTO as the person who is responsible for the technology that supercharges the business. And you, therefore, it's good if you can adapt to that, because you're actually in these conversations about business outcomes rather than just the old keeping the lights on CIO story.
Let's talk a little bit about mobile. I know for us, we're seeing companies, I mean, they've struggled to figure out how to monetize mobile as part of their business strategy. Should they even worry about that? Should they just, I mean, they can't keep up with their competitors, right, unless they go that route?
Well, I think that's probably Apple's fault, really, isn't it? I mean, the thing is that for software companies, the price of mobile apps has been set so low, you've got to get to such volume to actually make any money out of it. But I think that, therefore, you have to think of the mobile app as an on-ramp into the functionality that's delivered on the back end. So, in an enterprise B2B application, the mobile is just the front end of what's going on. So I think there are ways of monetizing effectively, but if it's not a volume application, you won't make the money on the actual app that sits on the phone.
Well, Phil, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for taking some time with us today, and enjoy the rest of the week.
Okay, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much.